see but never really take notice, one of the first things that a toddler clutches onto is, you believe it or not, but it's a cell phone. Many parents announces proudly how the child responds when a mobile rings or how she's so excited to get her hand onto. Well, cell phones are their first toys. Kids virtually grow in front of cell phones and televisions. Though parents blame the television for everything, but ironically, it's they who unwittingly set the stage for the child's future addiction. When your child refuses to eat, tell me, how many of you resort the easiest way of switching on the television and putting on their favorite cartoon? Or when they cry or crib for something, how many of you show them or give them your cell phones to distract them instead of playing games or telling them a story? If you don't pay much attention to your computers, cell phones, or televisions, chances are your child wouldn't either. Toddlers take their cues from you. And since you spend your most of the time on your computers answering your emails or looking up videos for anything, could be a recipe, your curious child wants to know what's so great about it. Acting like mom and dad, whether it's trying on your sunglasses or holding up the cell phone to his ear or trying on your large size footwear and walking all around. All these things makes your child feel closer to you, and she loves the positive reaction that she gets from it. You must remember, she's mimicking you, just not for your attention. Imitation is an early form of learning. By copying others, she's developing fine motor and cognitive skills. She's figuring out how the world works. Whereas, things are a little different for a teenager. Ladies and gentlemen, well, I have today few questions to all the parents of a teenager. Does your child check their phones every time they receive a notification from Facebook, Instagram, or any message? Are they distracted from studies or homework? Are they glued to their phones at supper or when it's time to go to bed? Perhaps you feel that your child is addicted to his phones, computers, or television. But how do you find out that your child is addicted to digital devices? Number 1, insomnia, which means worse sleep quality or taking a long time to fall asleep. This might be caused by staying up late to watch videos or playing games, or waking up during night to check some notifications. Number 2, anxiety. A recent study says teens who prefer virtual communication tend to have a high level of social anxiety or even depression, because cell phone addiction affects relationships with friends, family, in negative way as well. Ladies and gentlemen, depression is again a wider term, and I'll surely have a workshop on it very soon. Number 3, that urge. Cell phone addicted teens constantly feel that urge to press their device all the time, and turning the phones off can cause increased anxiety and even panic. In scientific terms, it is also known as obsessive compulsive disorder. Number 4, this affects relationships. Of course, mobile phone engagement might reach to such a degree that teenager becomes distracted from being present in the real world, which ultimately adversely affects all the spheres of life, be it school, family, or any other responsibility. A child might isolate from friends and family just to spend more time in the digital world. The danger hides in the fact that while it's crucial for the teens to gain social skills and interact in person, they prefer virtual communication. To further understand why your kids are addicted to cell phones, let's dig a little deeper into the cause of addiction. Number 1. Pleasure. Smartphone addiction works similarly to the game addiction. Every once in a while, the user receives some sort of a reward in a form of like, notification, message, or could be anything that is pleasurable to receive, but whose arrival is unpredictable. Whenever we get a reward like this, dopamine, controlling the pleasure centers, releases in the brain. So it makes people happy and desire more, which ultimately causes a quick message check turn into endless Facebook feed scrolling. Number 2. Extended self. The psychological notion of extended self refers to all the possessions we are tied to. When a person loses a part of their self, it feels like a great loss. And so, children feel that anxiety when they can't find their phone or unable to check their device for some period of time. A recent study says that more than a half of late teens feels the discomfort if they're kept away from checking their devices for a longer time. Number 3. Socializing. It's a part of human nature to imitate, copy, and make models. And these digital devices help teens to do that. They take pictures, select the best selfie, share, and socialize. Texting friends and Googling out information is the modern way of creating rock carvings. Mobile texting is the letter of 21st century, providing cheap and indirect method of communication. Number 4. Recognition. All of us want to belong to a bigger group and to be accepted, and social media gives you that opportunity. In this digital forum, teenagers are able to join groups, Facebook chats, or other messaging chats. Your child receives acceptance by way of likes, comments, notifications, messages, or many other things. And so, they check their cell phone again and again to get that reward. This is how the habit is formed and your child is hooked to phone. But now, how to set your child free from this addiction? Number 1. Set limits. There should be strict and clear boundaries on when and how long to use mobile devices. Number 2. Introduce technology breaks. Family time in the evening or at the weekend should be smartphone free or computer free. 3. Make digital free zones. Do not allow mobile devices in the kitchen and bedroom while allowing play in the living room. 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important one. Put a specialized app or a software that lets you monitor your child's device usage and block inappropriate content. 5. As I said, children learn while imitating. It's very important for you to change your habit before you change your child. There is no point telling your child not to watch television while study time when parents themselves are watching, or in asking children not to use their mobile phones when parents themselves are crouching in front of their laptops. And the last but not the least, replace the phones with healthy alternatives. Engage your child in active family time or fun activities. Teach him to enjoy the real world and treasure the joys of life. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just not raise, but nurture them.